Okay, so today this video is about the sun and how we can actually benefit from the sun, what is known as positive and negative ions. And if you don't have them, you can always rely on to something like this, which is a pellet stove or wood stove. And the reason why I am leaving these bracelet is because it's related to EMF, or what is known to the world is EMF sensitivities. And as I stated in my other videos, there is no such thing as EMF sensitivities, because we are going to talk about positive and negative ions and how I actually learn about this, or understood, or understand, or have understood, or at least a little bit of understanding of it, although it's not 100%, but like I stated in other videos, it's about 60% there. And but what this video is about is that if you get a chance, go out in the sun, go out and enjoy the sun. Although I stated in my other videos that you need to avoid direct sun. Believe it or not, you can find a place where you can sit in the shade. You can actually sit in the sunny day on underneath a porch, or in the shade, or under an umbrella, a dark umbrella, or anything of that nature, and you will get your positive and negative ions. In the winter, you would have to get it from heat. And the best thing to do is just to go and put your hand near heat. Wood, or in this case is pellets, wood, and try to absorb some of that. And that's how you're going to get your positive and negative ions. Now I am going to go into a video, and I am going to explain how I made a discovery and how actually few things will work. Okay, so now we are at the area that I can speak a little bit. And what have taught me in my water journey, I will leave it right up here for you, how I've learned about this plant. And this was an avocado. And if you noticed, I'm going to show you in a second, that it sits in a container like this because we are in the winter. And for the longest time, I'm going to lower it down so you can see, for the longest time, it stopped growing right here. It wasn't able to grow. So I asked myself, if you count all the leaves, it's actually, this is like the 10th month. And this is the 10th month. That's what I got right here. And it took each leaf, believe it or not, the first two is regular, but each leaf is actually every month it gave me a new leaf. But at the 10th month, it didn't give me anything. If you look at right there, I don't know if you'll be able to see, right there. It was nothing. Right there. It was nothing. So then I asked myself, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong in this thing that this thing wasn't able to give me a leaf? So I said to myself, strange that it just stops growing that way. So then I have a fish tank, so I fed some water in it. And this water somehow, the fish tank water, moves really quick. Then I took it one step further, I said, okay. As I understand something that, as I stated in other videos, if you haven't seen it, it's right up here in my water journey. I talk about how the roots use positive and negative ions to help it to attach things, the nutrients from here. It gets into the roots and then it sends up to all the leaves, or in this case, its trunk or its stems or whatever. But suddenly, and I said suddenly, it stops right here and it's no longer growing. So that mystified me a lot. And I asked this question. I said, why? Why in the world that it stops right here after 9 months it's no longer grow? So, as I said in many of my videos, I understand positive and negative ions. And this is where I figured out that it's very important to have positive and negative ions, or else you're going to stunt the growth of this tree. Oops, I think I just knocked that little leaves out. It doesn't matter anyway. It's dead. So I said, it stunts the growth of this tree. The tree is no longer healthy. So I said, okay, let me try something. And what I did was, I put my water in as usual, at the same, same thing. I dump it out and get new ones. What I did was, I said, what if I put warm water in here and I put it as 80-degree water? I said, okay, let me test this out. Since it's, winter, we're in the winter anyway. Let me test it out. I put the 80-degree water in here. Next thing you know, within 2 weeks, just 2 weeks, yep, just 2. Look what happened. Look how tall it gets. And I get new leaves. Now remind you, I supposed to only get 1 leaf per month. This is just 2 weeks. And look how much it grew in 2 weeks. But remind you, I told you right here, you can see that bump right there. That's where it stunts the growth. And I could not understand what happened to this plant until I changed the way how I see things. I said, what if I add hot water to this, but not too hot because it'll kill the root. I add warm water to this, about 80 degrees. What would happen to it? I said, I don't want to kill the root if I go too warm. And then I add fish water to this. Okay, because like I said, I have a fish tank, so I knew the fish water would grow things really good and stuff. So here's another thing. Here's a tip for you. If you have fish in your tank, make sure to use that water. That water is very valuable. Fish feces and whatever it is in there. So I add it in here and I add warm water to it. And suddenly, I don't know how many inches from here. 3, 6, almost 7 inches within. Up to here. 7 inches within 2 weeks. Now remind you. Sorry, I can't pan any further out. Oh yeah, I can. Remind you. This here took 9 months to grow this tall. Within 2 weeks, Just because I add the positive and negative ions to this water, not just this water, but to the bowl. To the bowl. And how? Just simply putting warm water. Warm water is radiation. Radiation is positive and negative ions. Yep. Or when it dies, it goes into a decay, which is still a positive and negative ions, or what they call as beta and gamma and alpha. But that's when I realized what I was doing. And that's when I realized what positive and negative ion can actually do to our body, just like it did to here. Yep. Can you imagine? I waited. It grew 2 weeks, almost as tall as it did here. Yeah. I waited. I say, what is wrong with you? Why are you not giving me no more leaves? And you can tell right there. It shoots up all the way to there. Yep. All the way to there. 2 weeks. And now he's giving me 4 leaves. Except for these little ones right here. And the one I just knocked off from here. But that's what taught me what positive and negative ion will do to your body. But at the same time, people are like us or me, who is known as EMF sensitivities. We have to use this to actually regulate them. So go soak yourself. I soaked myself in the sun today. After that, I waited for a little bit to see if my body tired. Once my body starts to get tired, I add these in. I stay for 2 hours, and my body didn't get tired because I was on this for a long time, so I didn't get tired whatsoever. So then I said to myself, okay, let me watch my body some more. And I added, all I need was 2. And when I got a little tired, I just add 2 in. These bracelet that I made. This is another version. I'll show you that in another video later. And suddenly, my body started to feel really good. And that's when I knew that what I did to this plant was important. But as not just this plant, and I said many times, this plant taught me a lot of things. But it also taught me something that I have to do to my own body, that I need to absorb to my own body as well. I need the sun, or your second option. The first option is the sun. The second option would be a fireplace. Either a wood, it has to be wood stove, and it has to be enclosed, okay? Because some people are actually allergic to, not allergic, that's another thing too, but allergic to smoke. Well, that would be your second option. Your third option would be that type of heat, but that's electric. And sensitive people will get tired really quick. Sensitive. Remember, there's no such thing as sensitive. But I want to use that term because, that's what we're known and that's what we're taught. But I just want to let you know there's no such thing as sensitive. But that will be your third option, which is turn that on, go on it, and put your hand on top of it and take that heat in. But that's your third, okay? Don't go towards the sun first and then towards the fireplace. So the sun would be my first option, and then the fireplace would be my second option, and then the third would be some sort of other heat. Okay? So learning this, or learning how it grew, I mean, imagine all that long, and it only took 2 weeks. Why this here, from here to here, it took 9 months. That tell you something right there. That tell you something. What I did to here. That's the only thing that I changed. What I did to here was, like I stated, and I'll state it one more time. I add the positive, negative ions to here. That absorb into the roots, into the nutrients water. That's nutrient water. That's just plain water. It add the nutrient water into that. The nutrient was brought up, and it made this thing sprung up within just 2 weeks, and that's how it grew. Yep, that's a valuable lesson that I've learned. But more importantly, it is not about this plant. Okay, please remember that. It's about you. How you going to use this plant to understand this plant so you can get your positive and negative ions into your body. And that way, your cells and your system will work better. And I promise it is linked to another video that's later on, okay? Remember the positive and ions, and remember this video if you see it. You will understand why we actually need the positive and negative ions in our body. It is very important. Okay? Other than that, before I go, one more thing. Go and enjoy the sun early in the morning or in the afternoon, okay? And then if you are tired, use this to remove the what we call or known as decay out of your body. Simple as that. But we need positive and negative ions. So go out and enjoy the sun. Take a walk, whatever you need to. Early in the morning, in the afternoon. If you can't do those during the day, sit in the shade or sit underneath the porch and just enjoy that. 1-2 hours is good enough for you. Okay? Other than that, that's about it on this video. I hope you learned something. But more importantly, I hope you learned something about your body. I'll see you in the next video.